So, E3 has come and gone, and I mean specifically E3 2018, out there in the world of hopes and dreams, Los Angeles, California. And I have to give my personal opinion. I thought it had great potential, but at the same time, great disappointment. And this wasn't just one particular developer or, console maker. It just seemed to be the same all across the board. And I don't know if this is a changing of the tide or just the industry itself kind of reflecting how things are going, because it seemed just about every single conference just left something to be desired. And I'll give an example, where in the movies, the Avengers Infinity War left everything out there. It was just awesome. But then, you see, you know, Solo, and then there's something missing. Sort of like that, where usually somebody comes out, doing well, and somebody else falters. But in this case, everybody faltered. We had the first one with EA, which pretty much everybody agreed it was just a garbled mess. And then Microsoft came out with theirs, and I actually liked Microsoft's conference. I'm not a Xbox player. I don't have an Xbox One S. I have an Xbox One S, and I have a few games, but I have a ton more Sony games. Uh, I have to say, Microsoft kind of did it right. They kept the talk to the minimum, and when they did talk, they just made it short and sweet. Um, and I mean, they showed a bunch of trailers. They showed, third party. They showed exclusives. They showed independent games. They showed a lot to cover the whole gamut. They showed sports. They showed, as far as RPGs goes, they showed, Kingdom Hearts 3. But they showed sports, they showed action, they showed Halo, they showed Gears of War 6, and they even went, the mobile route with Gears of War Pops, which, in my opinion, it actually looked pretty cool. I'm not sure I really want to play it on my mobile device, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind trying something like that on a console. I play a lot of Lego games. I just like to have fun like that. I do play God of War. I play Uncharted. But I do like the simpler stuff where I'm not stressed out. Everybody likes Pops, so I could definitely see Pops going into the video game realm. So I thought Microsoft was pretty fine, but I watched a lot of videos out there, and everybody said the same thing, that Microsoft was just pretty bad. I don't know. Maybe I saw something different. Then we go to, I believe it's Square. Bethesda's was next. And I have to say that as well as they did showing off um, Fallout 76 and the announcement to Elder Scrolls 6, and I believe that was the most of it. If there was anything else, I know they showed a few other things, but it was hard to pay attention to. I found their conference just very, for lack of a better term, annoying. One with they also showed Rage 2. Duh. Um, that concert with Andrew WK, and I have nothing against Andrew WK, but it just felt awkward. I mean, you looked at the audience and you saw a bunch of guys in their 40s and 50s, and they're trying their best to shake their head to him, but you could see they could care less. And then if you saw anybody under 30, they're like, okay, who's this old dude trying to jump around and perform? It just didn't fit with the conference. And then after the performance, then they showed Rage 2, the footage, and then the footage has more of the song. So, my wife and I agreed it would probably have been cooler to probably have shown um, a little bit of the story footage of the game, and then when it goes into the action sequences, bring out Andrew WK without announcing him first, and just have him perform his music, while the action is playing in the background. That probably would have been a lot more cool. Um, but is it me or do all of his songs sound the same? I mean, I've heard a lot of people say Nickelback's music sounds the same, but Andrew WK, just about everything I've ever heard from him sounds the same. Anyway, that's another topic for another day. Then we go to Square Enix, and I have to say that yeah, that was really, 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 really a sad outing there because Square Enix is one of the most respected developers out there. I've been a big fan of theirs since the early '80s with the first Final Fantasy. I've played 1, 2, and 3 here in at least the American versions, and I've played 7, 8, never played 9, and so on and so forth. But I've also been a big fan of their Sleeping Dogs, Tomb Raider. When you hear the name Square Enix, I mean you automatically think high quality and a developer. They've had their missteps, but that particular conference just did not do it for me. And one of the biggest disappointments was there was no mention to Final Fantasy VII. We keep hearing these reports. Oh, boy. Sorry about that. It's late. It's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm trying to squeeze this in. We hear reports that they're having problems with development. Uh, but they could have shown us something. They've shown us something for the past 3 or 4 years, even a tech demo or whatever. Just show us something. Just you have to give the players hope that there's something coming along, and they showed us nothing. So that just tells us that either A, Square Enix has no faith in in Final Fantasy VII ever happening, or it's better to give us something than nothing. That's all I have to say about that. Um, they did show kind of a crossroad between Final Fantasy 14 and Monster Hunter World, which was pretty cool. I don't play either one of them, so I'm not an MMORPG kind of guy. At least not yet. I still haven't fallen into that world yet. I just don't have the time. Um, but ultimately, I mean, and they showed us more of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I'm excited for. I mean, September can't get here soon enough. I'll be right there, first in line buying Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and I'll be right online, streaming it for you guys because that game I am really, really looking forward to. But even then, that game is pretty much the same as the first two games, Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. So I really don't expect nothing too much in the ways of groundbreaking gameplay. But hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's a fine game as it is. So I'm ready to play it. I mean, if they sent it out right now, I'd go out and buy it. Um, so Square Enix had theirs, and then after that we had Ubisoft, which theirs was a bit better. We started off with marching men and a bunch of people dancing, and I immediately knew it was Just Dance 2019. But it was a lot of fun. They went out there and tried to make a lot of fun. The biggest problem with Ubisoft is, obviously they're a French developer. A lot of their development houses are not from America, so it was very hard to kind of understand the developers. And what's up with the developers always wanting to curse and drop F bombs just so they can sound cool? It's like, oh, we're making this game, okay, and it's effing awesome. Woo! Okay, whatever. I mean, the audience is not full of skating punks. I mean, we know what you're trying to do. You're trying to hype us up, but you know, don't. You could do that a lot better than that. They could tell when they're losing the crowd because the crowd gets incredibly quiet. Oh, and it's gonna be effing great. Woo! Whatever. Move on. But they showed us a few things on their side. From Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where you're a Spartan now, and I don't remember too many Spartans being assassins, but hey, I'm not a history major. And then they showed us, a few other things. I was really hoping this maybe they would have delved back into the Prince of Persia world, or maybe do a cross between Prince of Persia and Assassin's Creed. Hey, um, they showed I think the Division 2, which looked pretty cool. I've never played any of the Tom Clancy games. Just not that kind of guy. But I mean, their conference was okay. It wasn't too bad. There was nothing really I was looking forward to them from them. And then ultimately, I was really looking forward to Sony's conference. And golly, that was just, in my opinion, that was a huge mess. Okay, I mean, the thing started off cool where, they're in a tent and, they're saying, hey, we're in a tent. This is, our church and here's Last of Us 2. And you get some guy coming out with a banjo and he plays the banjo and it's like, okay, all right, move along. And then they play, the game and they show the gameplay and have to hate to say that your Last of Us 2 looks a lot like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Don't want to, let anybody else know, but it kind of looks like that Naughty Dog. And we see the gameplay, and then all of a sudden, it stops. We're talking to some guy behind a desk, telling us, you know, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is available for, PlayStation Plus members. Uh, if you want to kill any and all momentum of a conference, uh, that was about the most perfect way to do it because, I mean, you started off with, this girl, she's dancing, and all of a sudden, she's hitting people with arrows and knives and, shooting people in the face. I mean, it was a very intense gameplay mode. And then just to go and, hey guys, we're here and we're just going to sit here and wait till people move from one building to the next. That was just a mood killer. I that was pretty bad. Sony, I don't know what you guys were thinking. Maybe LA had this huge mood setting thing going on for the audience, but for the TV world, that was just horrible. And then we spent the next 10, 15 minutes waiting for you guys, to find their seats, people to find their seats, and to start things back up. You lost all the momentum you had. And then you threw together this disjointed something with Dreams playing music that I personally didn't understand what was going on. And you were showing you know other the trailers, and and he showed us a cool Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer with Pirates of the Caribbean, which was my favorite. But all in all, I thought that particular conference was weak, but once again, just kind of looking through YouTube, it seems everybody was in love with the Resident Evil 2 remake trailer, and one of the consensus I saw, and it was very funny, was everybody kept saying that the conference itself was weak, but they considered it better because there was a trailer for Resident Evil 2. What? I mean, granted, yeah, it was a cool trailer. You thought you were a rat, and then all of a sudden, it's. But the game is 20 years old. Granted, I'm not a zombie person or a Resident Evil fan. I think it's a great series. I've tried playing a couple of them. It is what it is. But I mean, it's like if you're on a baseball team and one guy hits, I won't even see a grand slam. He hits a home run, but everybody else, just hits singles. If you can still lose the game, you have to be consistent across the board. I mean, if anything else, the Resident Evil 2 trailer was LeBron James, and all the other trailers were the rest of the Cavaliers. Look where it got. Yeah, it got to the finals, but then it got blasted by the Golden State Warriors. I know this is sports reference, and maybe not everybody will get it, but for those of you out there, you know what I'm talking about. Um, I thought Sony's conference was just very, very disappointing and disjointing, and we had they've got some good games coming out, and but they showed us nothing. As far as I could tell, there was really nothing new or nothing that really wowed me for the most part. And then we get to Nintendo, and Nintendo basically said, "Hey, we've got some stuff coming out, and now Smash Brothers Ultimate." and we're going to spend the next half hour going over every nook and cranny of Smash Brothers Ultimate that we could either save for another direct down the road, or other videos. But we're just going to cram it as much as we can of Smash Brothers down your throat right now. And and it's coming out in December, which is actually pretty cool. I was expecting 2019, just about everything else. I think there was at least 4 titles mentioned for February 2019, and there was a few other ones mentioned for late January 2019. So in a little bit less than a month. For those of you that need to save your money, save it now, because after Christmas, after you spend all your money on Christmas, you're gonna need your money for at least 5 or 6 games in the first quarter of 2019, and I'm talking Anthem, Kingdom Hearts 3, Days Gone. I mean, there's a slew of games coming out at that time that if you want to play, uh, that's when it comes out. And I have a feeling there's going to be one disappointed developer out there, because not everybody's going to have $300 in January, February. That's usually the slowest time of the year for buying things, because people have spent all their money during Christmas. Anyway, that's another video for another time. So, like I said, Nintendo shoved Super Smash Brothers Ultimate down our throats, and they ignored Metroid Prime 4. So once again, just about everybody kind of ignored one of their major properties. You know, we didn't hear anything on Final Fantasy VII. We didn't hear anything on Metroid Prime 4. And I know a lot of folks were expecting to hear. There was another property that we were supposed to hear. There was a lot of rumors, anyway, that we were supposed to hear something about Rocksteady, and either another either a Superman or something out there, or a new Mortal Kombat or something. We just heard nothing, and we're hitting around that time for something new to pop out. So I'm hoping that maybe at I think there's still PAX and Tokyo Game Show, and I think there's another conference later on this year. Maybe we'll hear something new. Maybe E3 is just not the place to be like it used to. Anyway, those are my thoughts on E3 2018. I thought it had a little bit of shine, but it had a little bit of dullness to it too. And I'm hoping in the following years, now that E3's gotten bigger and they've opened it to the public, it needs to turn into something like Comic-Con, where everybody goes out there and gives it their best foot forward. But I don't know. I'm just a simple guy in Atlanta, Georgia, and nobody listens to me anyway. So anyway, what were your thoughts on E3 2018? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you think it was a lackluster conference, or did you think it was the best conference ever? Post it in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. Anyway, if you liked what I had to say, I know it's been almost 20 minutes, hit that like button. If you want to hear more of my rantings and ravings, and I'll try my best to keep it shorter, hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 100 subscribers. Anyway, I'm out of here. And until next time, peace out, players.